Welcome back to Universe. I'm Andrew, and today I'm playing Marvel Champions, and I'm playing Ironheart against Klaw. And that's because I decided to try out the Champions Solo League, which is a league run on Discord. I'll link to the description if you want to try it out. I'm not part of the league or any associated with it, other than that I just wanted to try it out. And they just launched Season 13 recently, and this is the first scenario in Season 13. So I think the way that it works is you can play on like teams with other players. Even though you play solo, you record your scores as a group, and each member of the team, although again you're playing solo, you record your scores and you're playing different characters or different aspects depending on the round. So in this round, there is a selection of 5 heroes. I've selected Ironheart, but if I were playing on a team, each of my other teammates would have to select a different one of the characters from that list. In other rounds, it might tell you which hero you have to play, but not which aspect, in which case each player on the team has to select a different aspect. Although there are 4 aspects and you can have 5 people on the team, so I'm not sure how they do that. But it doesn't matter to me because I just am going to be playing by myself. I'm not going to be recording my scores, which means I'm also not going to be following the rules, which are that you can play as many practice games as you want, but once you decide to officially start, you play 3 games without changing your deck or anything, and then you submit those 3 scores from those 3 games with the same deck once you've locked it in. Now, I have played 2 previous games, so this is going to be my 3rd game, but I did make some minor changes to my deck. I added 2 copies of First Aid, although ironically I mulliganed away both of them from my first hand. So technically that is not allowed, but I'm not submitting, so I don't care. Just wanted to give you a heads up. I won both of my previous 2 games, but the reason you log things is the league cares about how well you did. It cares about how many side schemes were in play, how much threat was on all schemes among schemes in play, how many hit points were left among minions that remained in play, how many hit points were on your hero and your allies that were in play, and what round did you finally defeat the villain. So all of those things matter. And if you want to learn more about the league, again, I'll have a link in the description to where you can learn about that. Other than that, let's just go ahead and play. We're playing against Klaw, and this is a villain from the base set. If you haven't played Marvel Champions, if you have, then you know that he's one of the 3 villains you get out of the core box. He's got 2 scheme and 0 attack, but he gets an extra boost card, so he's a very unpredictable amount of damage. His main scheme made us start with this defense network, which is a crisis with 3 threat on it, and the main scheme also made us discard from the top of the encounter deck until we hit a minion. Fortunately, I got this weak little weapons runner with only 1 scheme, 1 attack, and 2 health. It has Surge, but that didn't apply. I played a lot against Klaw, but I've played very little with Riri. In fact, this is going to be my 3rd game. I only played with Ironheart 2 times before, and that was all part of this little league play session. So she starts with this card, and her other identities, both of which are Ironheart and Riri, are set aside. She can spend a mental resource in Alter Ego to gain 1 progress. And when she has 6 progress on her version 1, you can spend them and ready her to change to version 2. And when you get 6 progress again, you can ready her, give her tough, and change to version 3. And some of her cards will scale based on what version she's in. Otherwise, her thwart is going up and her hand size is going up because her version 1 hand size is only 4. I was a little bit uncertain whether I wanted to even switch to hero form in round 1 because I really want to get 6 progress as fast as possible. But I did draw a couple of photon beams, which can help. So let's see how this goes. First up, I'm going to play Moon Girl, and she costs 3, but if you pay with mental resources, you get to draw a card for each one. So I'm going to pay with Nick Fury and Genius, which is 3 mental resources, so I get to draw 3 cards. I can only play Moon Girl if I am a champion or a genius. Fortunately, Riri is a genius, and Ironheart is a champion. So we'll get Ironheart out and draw 3 new cards. I'm going to use Child Prodigy, spend another mental resource, which I just drew, to get 1 progress counter. We'll use Moon Girl to thwart the defense network down to 1. Puts 2 consequential damage on Moon Girl, and now I am a little bit regretting losing my First Aid. And I would only get 4 cards in my hand, unfortunately, in this version 1 form, but I'm going to switch to hero because I have 2 photon beams. So I'm going to play a photon beam, which does 4 damage. It's a hero action, which is why I need to be in hero form. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. I'm going to overkill this weapons runner, but that means since I defeated it, I get 2 more progress. And then I'm going to pay for that with this strength. And I'm going to play another photon beam, paying with energy. That's all 3 double resources in turn 1. Not bad. to do 4 damage to Klaw, putting him down to 8, and I get 1 progress. So she's at 4, but it's going to be a little bit tricky to go into, or it's going to be tricky to get 2 more progress next turn while in hero form. So I'm worried I'm going to have to switch back, but we'll see. So I'm going to end my turn. No, first I will thwart. So we'll go ahead and thwart and finish off the defense network side scheme. And I'm going to discard this last card in my hand, the sector scan, ready, and draw only 4 cards, which I hate. The underground distribution main scheme gets 1 threat per player, which is 1. Klaw will attack us. Should be at 10. And I guess I will defend. So he's going to get 2 boosts. That's Sonic Boom has a star. If it deals damage to you, exhaust your hero. So fortunately, we are defending. And then 1. It's only 1 damage to Moon Girl, but that is enough to take her out. And then we get an encounter card, which is a Hollow Shield Generator. So this is from the Ransacked Armory encounter set, which again is part of the Solo League setup. It says attached to the minion with the most remaining hit points. If you can't, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion, put it into play, engage with you. So we'll get that weapons runner back. Gets +4 hit points and retaliate 2. Okay, so 6 hit points and retaliate 2. That's it. Back to us. I can't do much this turn, so I'm going to work for 1 again just off the main scheme. That removes all threat from the main scheme, so now I can play Pivotal Moment. Deals 2 damage or 5 instead if there's no threat on the main scheme. So I'm going to hit Klaw for 5. Put him down to 3. Do have to pay for that. And we're going to switch to Alter Ego and use Child Prodigy, pay 1. Unfortunately, I have to lose this Tony Stark AI to get a 5th progress. That's all we're going to be able to do this turn. Now we get 6, and we're very close to version 2. And I should also be tracking what round we're in. We're currently in round 2. So we'll go to the round 2 villain phase. Add 1 here. Klaw will scheme for 2 plus a boost of 2, which is 4. And the weapons runner will scheme for 1, which is actually just enough to hit 6, which is all this underground distribution needed. It needs 6 per player, and that would be 6. So it's going to advance to the secret rendezvous. It says Klaw has found a buyer for his illegal weapons. It's up to you to stop the sale, but the meeting is surrounded by Klaw's cronies. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. We get another minion. 7, 8, 9, 10. Another weapons runner. And then this advances to the secret rendezvous. If this is completed, we lose, and this is at 8 this time. And then we get an encounter card. We get an Armored Guard. So another minion says Guard and Toughness and 3 health. So tough meaning any damage is going to be reduced to 0 for the first time we hit it. And Guard meaning we can't hit Klaw while it's in play. It's kind of a steep cost, but I think I want to play Brawn. The Amadeus Cho Hulk. 4 cost. Very steep. While he's exhausted though, he gains basically gives us a mental resource. Well, dang, now I want to use him. I think I'm going to have to switch to hero form, but I want to use his resource for Child Prodigy, which means I need to use him while she's still in Alter Ego form, but I wanted her to knock off Tough, and then his 3 attack could take out the Guard. Now that's not going to work. So instead, I think I'm going to have to attack the weapons runner for 3. He gets 1 consequential damage. Now that he's exhausted, he can give us a mental resource so we can get the 6th progress. I'm going to go ahead and play Skilled Investigator just because it costs 0, so I saved it as my last card. And if we defeat a side scheme, we can draw a card. We'll get a side scheme soon enough because Klaw brings one out. But for now, it's just going to be sitting there. I'm going to switch to Ironheart. We're going to attack for 2 just to knock off Tough. And then we're going to use Level Up to spend 6 progress and change to version 2 and ready her. So now we have 2 thwart to attack and 3 defense and a hand size of 5. And we just need 6 more progress to go to version 3. But now we can attack again, and I guess that's going to be... Do I really want to hit the Guard for 1 or for 2, leave it at 1? Or if I attack Klaw, it's the same situation. I can't attack Klaw, so the only other option would be the Weapons Runner. There's nothing to thwart. I guess I'm putting 2 damage here. I should have upgraded this to 3. We're in round 3 now. And ending my turn, drawing 5. Secret Rendezvous gets 1. Klaw will attack, and I think I just take it. So it's 0 damage plus 2 boosts. So 2. And Sonic Boom, if it damages you, exhaust your hero. So she takes 2 and gets exhausted. Then these both attack for 1 each. So she's going to go down to 6. And we draw an encounter card, which is an advance, the villain schemes, for 2 plus a boost of 2. That's 4, putting it up to 5 out of 8 before we lose the game. Now we're going into round 4. Dang, that exhaust really hurts because I need to get through this guard and do 3 damage to Klaw. This is making me question how high to prioritize my progress, but I think I have to sacrifice 1 this turn. So I'm going to attack for 3 to finish off this guard. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get any more resources out of Brawn, because next time he activates, he's going to take a 3rd consequential damage, and he'll be defeated before he can provide that resource, which is why I put the 2 first aids in, but I've already discarded them. Then I'm going to use his mental resource along with another card to play propulsion jets. So Ironheart gets plus 2 hit points, and we can activate this to remove threat equal to her version, which is 2. So we can activate this to bring this down to 3. But then we'll play Flyover, which says we will pay 2 and we remove 3 threat. And since it removed the last of it, she gets 2 progress. And I think I'm going to go ahead and hide an alter ego for an extra card and hope that he doesn't just hit 8 this turn. We got 2 progress out of 6, and we're still on version 1 of Klaw. Get 1 threat here, and then he's going to scheme for 2 plus a boost of 1 plus 1 from here. Puts it up to 5 again. And our encounter card is Klaw's Vengeance. Alter Ego, discard a card at random. All right, we'll do 1 through 6 and roll a die. Card number 1 is this one. We lose Wasp. Then we get to take our turn going into round 5. All right, this hand is looking a little bit better. So first I'm going to spend Stroke of Genius on Child Prodigy. So after I spend this card, I get a progress and I get to draw another card. So she's got 3 progress and another one, because we got 1 because we were doing Child Prodigy and 1 because of the text of Stroke of Genius. Go ahead and go to hero form, which is Ironheart version 2. I'm going to play Photon Beam, which deals 4 damage to an enemy and places 1 progress on Ironheart. So she's now at 5, but I'm hitting Klaw for 4, which is going to put him from 3 down to 0, which counts as defeating him, which means I get an extra progress through the text of Photon Beam. And now that he's defeated, he's going to go to version 2, which means he's got an extra point of attack, and we need to search for the Immortal Klaw right away and put that into play, which gives him plus 10 hit points. And it also has an acceleration icon. Has 3 per player threat on it, which is 3. His hit points are 18 plus 10 because of the Immortal Klaw. But if I defeat that side scheme, he'll drop those 10 hit points. And I'm going to thwart with Brawn against the Secret Rendezvous. So he's going to be defeated. The Secret Rendezvous drops from 5 down to 3. I think I'd like to attack with Ironheart for 2 against Klaw, putting him down to 26. And then we will spend our 6 progress in order to switch to version 3 and ready her and gain a tough. So now she has 3 thwart to attack, 3 defense, and a hand size of 6. Also, any excess progress is not used to upgrade forms or versions, but rather we just get to machine gun them off for 2 damage each. Now she can thwart for 3 against the Secret Rendezvous, removing all threat from that, so we can play Pivotal Moment. There's no threat on the main scheme. Pay for that with the Power of Justice and deal 5 damage, putting him down to 21. We'll use Propulsion Jets to remove threat from a scheme equal to her version number, which is now 3, so we can clear off the Immortal Klaw right away, putting Klaw down 10 hit points, down to 11. Skilled Investigator says after a side scheme is defeated, exhaust it and draw a card. So we get to do that. And then I'll use these 2 cards I have to play Photon Blasters, which gives us 2 more hit points, up to 10. And we can exhaust it to deal damage equal to our version number, which is 3. So I'll go ahead and deal 3 damage to Klaw, putting him down to 8. Now I'm feeling better about the situation. Pass the turn, get 6 cards. Fortunately, that empties our deck, so we're going to have an extra encounter card. 6. Now Get 1 threat on the main scheme. Klaw will attack us for 1+2 boosts, but we're tough, so I'm okay with that. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. We'll just lose tough. And Weapons Runner will attack Ironheart down to 9. And we get an encounter card in addition to that one. So we get a minor setback. Remove a progress counter from her. We don't have any. And then discard it. If no progress was removed, deal yourself another face down encounter card. And then shuffle it back into the deck. All right, so we get 2 more here. Advance the villain scheme. So he's scheming for 2 + 2 is 4. Putting it up to 5 out of 8. And then Klaw's Vengeance. Klaw attacks you. If it deals damage, place threat on the main scheme. Well, it's going to deal damage, so that's 1 + 2 boost cards. So 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Wow, puts her down to 4. And we get a 6th threat here. This is empty, so we get 1 permanent acceleration counter. And we'll shuffle these. We're discarding Klaw's Vengeance. We're now in round 6, and let's see if we can finish things up. All right, so I'm going to start out by thwarting with Ironheart for 3 to bring this down to 3. Again, I'm not just trying to win the game. I want to reduce the enemy hit points and increase my hit points as much as possible. So then I'm going to play New and Improved, costs 3. I'm going to pay with Strength and Stroke of Genius, which means I get a progress and get to draw a card. And I get to search, or I get to do X options, where X is her version number, which is currently 3. So I get to do all 3 things. She gets to be tough again. I get to ready her, and I get to search for an Ironheart card, which is going to be a Photon Beam. Then I will use the Photon Blasters to deal damage equal to her version number to the Weapons Runner, which is 3. He has 6 total hit points. He has Retaliate 2, but that was not an attack, just a hero action. But then I am going to Photon Beam him, which means I do have, this one is an attack, so I am going to have to take that Retaliate 2, but I'm tough. Actually, you don't take Retaliate when you die, so that 4 damage is going to kill him, and because that's 4 damage, puts him up to 7. So he doesn't get to retaliate. We're going to get to stay tough. And since we defeated him with that, we get 2 more progress, bringing her up to 3. Then I can use the propulsion jets to remove 3 threat from a scheme, bringing that down to 0. Also going to play Riri Williams, paying with Moon Girl. And I can exhaust this for another progress or 2 health. I'd love to get the health, but it's an alter ego action, or they're both alter ego actions. And I'm not going to be able to do it because we need to beat Klaw. We can't go to alter ego if we're going to beat Klaw. So attack for 2, bringing him down to 6. And then we'll use her ability maximum efficiency 3 times, spend 3 progress to deal 2 damage each, which is 6, bringing him from 6 down to 0. If I could continue the game, I could switch to alter ego form and activate her to heal 2 up to 6, but I don't think that's allowed in league rules. But assuming I didn't miss a round counter, we ended in round 6 with 4 hit points remaining and nothing on the enemy side of the board, which is about where I was in my previous 2 games. I think the first game took me to round 7, and I also think I actually had more hit points in the previous game. So this one was a little bit worse, maybe. So I'm interested to see what the second scenario of Season 13 Solo League will look like. If you're interested, again, check the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers, and bye.